If you are over 60, mixing two common spices sitting in your kitchen right now can create a profound shift inside your body. For years, silent inflammation has been quietly breaking down your joints, slowing your digestion, and draining your energy. Most people accept this heavy, sluggish feeling as just a normal part of getting older. But what if your body is simply missing the right biological backup? When cloves meet Ceylon cinnamon in warm water, they trigger a natural response that targets this hidden damage. Within just a few days, you may start to notice real, physical changes in how you feel. Imagine waking up with less of that painful morning stiffness, enjoying steady energy without afternoon crashes, and having a digestive system that finally does its job. Today, we are counting down the 7 most powerful ways this simple daily drink supports your aging body, from surface-level relief to deep structural support. But you need to pay close attention. The number one benefit on this list targets the deepest root cause of your daily discomfort. Yet, there is one very common mistake people make when preparing this combination that completely ruins the effect and could even cause harm. Let's find out what it is. You will understand exactly why your body might be holding on to pain, fatigue, and digestive discomfort, and how a simple morning ritual using cloves and Ceylon cinnamon might offer the precise biological support you've been missing. If you are over 60, you already know that your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to. You might wake up with joints that feel locked. Your digestion feels sluggish after meals, and that heavy afternoon brain fog becomes harder to shake off. Most people brush these warning signs off as just normal aging, but nutritional science and clinical patterns suggest a different story. Here is what may actually be happening inside your body right now. After the age of 50, your body's natural ability to produce digestive enzymes and fight off free radicals naturally begins to decline. At the same time, your ability to regulate silent inflammation weakens. When this internal defense system slows down, cellular waste and oxidative stress accumulate. That is exactly when the daily aches, the bloating, and the unexplainable exhaustion set in. Conventional advice often tells you to just eat more fiber, cut back on salt, or take an over-the-counter pill for the pain. While these steps can absolutely be helpful, they often only manage the surface symptoms. They do not always address the hidden root cause, the continuous, silent inflammation happening at a cellular level. This is where cloves and Ceylon cinnamon come in. When prepared correctly, the powerful plant compounds in these spices, specifically eugenol and cinnamaldehyde, act as external reinforcements. They may help support your body's natural ability to neutralize free radicals, calm irritated tissues, and encourage a healthier internal environment. But not all of these benefits happen at once, and some are much deeper than others. Today, we are breaking down the 7 distinct ways this combination supports an aging body, ranked from the earliest surface-level signs to the most profound structural changes in your cells. Let's start with number 7, a surprising benefit you might notice very quickly, before working our way up to the number 1 reason this drink has been used for centuries. Number 7 on our countdown: the biological environment inside your mouth. For generations, people across different cultures have chewed on raw cloves to temporarily numb a toothache, or used cinnamon to freshen their breath. You might brush this off as a simple old wives' tale, but clinical observations reveal a very real, measurable mechanism at play here. As we age, especially after 60, natural saliva production often decreases. This subtle dryness creates the perfect breeding ground for unwanted bacteria to hide along your gum line, between your teeth, and at the back of your tongue. This isn't just about waking up with bad breath. It is a constant, low-grade bacterial burden that your immune system has to silently manage every single day. Cloves contain a highly active compound called eugenol, which is actually still utilized in some professional dental materials today. Ceylon cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde. When these two compounds are infused into warm water and wash over your gums, they work together to create a hostile environment for the specific bacteria that cause plaque and decay. Evidence suggests that both eugenol and cinnamaldehyde possess moderate but reliable natural antibacterial properties. It acts as a gentle, daily defense system for your mouth, completely free from the harsh, drying alcohol burn of commercial mouthwashes. Within just a few days of starting this morning routine, some people notice that their mouth simply feels cleaner and that stubborn morning breath begins to fade. But here is where you need to be careful. While this warm infusion is excellent for maintaining a balanced oral microbiome, it is strictly supportive. It is not a replacement for brushing, flossing, or seeing your dentist. If you are dealing with active gum disease, receding gums, or deep infections, spice water will not cure it. Furthermore, drinking it as a properly steeped tea is the correct method. Chewing on raw, whole cloves daily can actually be too abrasive for aging enamel and sensitive gums. Because this benefit is noticeable but localized mostly to the surface, we give it a solid 6 out of 10. A cleaner mouth is a wonderful start, but it is only the first step. What happens next is much more critical. Once this liquid moves past your throat, it begins to target a hidden issue that almost every person over 60 struggles with. And this is where it becomes important, because if you don't address this next system, your body cannot properly absorb the nutrients you eat. Number 6 on our list, the visible reflection on your skin. If you look in the mirror and notice dullness, lingering redness, or skin that simply looks exhausted, your first instinct might be to reach for expensive creams, lotions, and serums. The skincare industry thrives on treating these issues from the outside. But here is what most people don't realize. Your skin is often just a mirror, reflecting exactly what is happening deep inside your body. Chronic internal inflammation, sluggish digestion, and accumulated oxidative stress do not just stay hidden inside your organs. They eventually show up on your face. This is where our morning infusion comes into play. The compounds in cloves and Ceylon cinnamon, particularly their exceptionally high antioxidant capacity, act as an internal defense mechanism. They may help neutralize free radicals, those unstable molecules that damage your cells, break down collagen, and accelerate the visible signs of aging. When you start supporting your body with these potent antioxidants, some people begin to notice a subtle shift in their complexion over a few weeks. As your internal environment becomes less inflamed and your digestion improves, that grayish, tired look may slowly start to lift. However, we need to be very clear about the limitations. This is not a magic anti-aging cure, and the scientific evidence focuses on how dietary antioxidants support general cellular health, not overnight wrinkle removal. Furthermore, there is a critical mistake you must avoid. Do not try to speed up the process by applying this clove and cinnamon water directly to your face as a toner. Active compounds in these spices are potent and can cause severe burning, redness, and irritation to delicate facial skin. This is strictly an inside-out approach. It is highly accessible and costs just pennies a day, but it requires patience and consistency. Because the visible skin benefits are a gradual, secondary result of improved internal balance, we give this a 6.5 out of 10. But a healthier complexion is really just a pleasant side effect. What happens next is where this combination starts doing the heavy lifting. The real battle inside an aging body isn't about looking younger. It is about staying resilient against the daily, invisible threats that wear you down. And that brings us to number 5. Number 5 on our countdown, your daily immune defense. When it comes to staying healthy after 60, Many people believe that taking high doses of effervescent vitamin C or popping a handful of synthetic multivitamins is the only way to protect themselves. Essential vitamins are important. This approach often misses the silent underlying battle happening inside your cells. But here's what most people don't realize. Every single day, your body is fighting a quiet war against oxidative stress. This stress comes from decades of exposure to pollution, heavily processed foods, poor sleep, and just the natural biological process of aging. These unstable molecules, known as free radicals, roam through your body, damaging healthy cells and forcing your immune system to work overtime. When your immune system is constantly distracted by this internal damage, it becomes exhausted and less efficient at protecting you from external threats. This is exactly where our morning infusion steps in. When it comes to natural defense, cloves are not just another spice, they are a powerhouse. In fact, cloves rank near the very top of the ORAC scale, which is the scientific method used to measure the antioxidant capacity of foods. Ceylon cinnamon also boasts an incredibly dense antioxidant profile. By drinking this combination, you are essentially delivering a concentrated wave of free radical scavengers directly into your system. They help neutralize these damaging molecules, which may lower your overall oxidative burden. By reducing this internal stress, your immune system doesn't have to work as hard just to maintain baseline health. As a daily, quiet backup for an aging immune system that often gets ignored until you actually get sick. However, we must be realistic. This is a supportive habit, not a magical shield. Drinking clove and cinnamon water will not make you invincible to seasonal bugs, and it cannot outwork a poor diet or chronic sleep deprivation. If you are surviving on fast food and getting 4 hours of sleep, no amount of antioxidant water will save your immune system. Because of its strong, evidence-based antioxidant profile and ability to support overall resilience, we give this benefit a solid 7 out of 10. But an upgraded immune system will not make you feel vibrant if you are still constantly battling that heavy, sluggish, bloated feeling after every single meal. The next item on our list is where the results may become much easier to notice, targeting the exact reason why so many seniors feel completely drained by the afternoon. Number 4 on our list, your daily digestive function. If you often feel heavy, bloated, and sluggish after a meal, like the food is just sitting in your stomach like a brick, you are not alone. As we cross into our 60s, our body's natural production of digestive enzymes naturally begins to slow down. Most people try to fix this uncomfortable feeling by loading up on fiber supplements or taking over-the-counter antacids. While fiber is important, if your gut lining is already irritated and your stomach is lacking the right enzymes, adding more bulk can sometimes make the bloating and discomfort even worse. This is where the combination of cloves and Ceylon cinnamon offers a completely different kind of support. Cloves contain specific active compounds that may help stimulate your body's natural production of digestive enzymes, encouraging your stomach to actually break down food more efficiently. Meanwhile, the natural compounds in Ceylon cinnamon may help soothe and calm an irritated gut lining. Together, they help create a supportive internal environment where your digestive system can actually do its job. When digestion is supported, food moves through your system the way it should, and that heavy, sluggish feeling may begin to subside. But here is what most people completely miss, and where they accidentally ruin the effect. Many people try drinking clove and cinnamon water on a full stomach right after a heavy dinner, expecting it to work like an instant digestive pill. That is not how this natural mechanism works. To get the true digestive benefits, this infusion needs to be consumed on an empty stomach, typically first thing in the morning before breakfast. That is when it properly primes your digestive tract for the day ahead. Because of its direct, practical impact on how you feel after every single meal, we give this benefit an 8 out of 10. However, improving your digestion is just one part of the equation. Properly and stop struggling. It takes a massive, invisible burden off the hardest working filtration organ in your entire body. And if you are over 60, especially if you take daily medications, you absolutely need this next organ to be functioning at its best. That brings us to number 3. Number 3 on our countdown, the silent support for your body's main filter, your liver. Every single day, your liver acts as a tireless, heavy-duty filtration plant. It processes every prescription medication you take, every processed meal you eat, and every environmental toxin you encounter. But the liver has one major flaw. It rarely complains. You will not feel a sharp pain when it is overworked. It simply absorbs the damage, quietly struggling under the weight of accumulated oxidative stress, until something seriously breaks down. Many people try to fix an overworked liver by turning to aggressive, expensive detox teas or harsh juice cleanses. But your liver does not need to be violently flushed. It needs biological support. This is where the right spices come in. The active compound in cloves, eugenol, along with the protective antioxidants in cinnamon, may help reduce the oxidative burden on your liver cells. By providing a steady stream of high-quality antioxidants, this morning infusion acts as a quiet backup, supporting your liver's natural ability to manage daily cellular stress and repair itself over time. But here is what most people do not realize, and this is a mistake that can completely flip the benefit into serious harm. If you go to the standard grocery store and buy the cheapest, most common cinnamon on the shelf, known as Cassia cinnamon, you are making a dangerous error. Cassia cinnamon contains high levels of a naturally occurring compound called coumarin. If you drink Cassia cinnamon water every single day, that coumarin can actually become toxic and cause active damage to your liver. To safely support your liver, you absolutely must use Ceylon cinnamon, often labeled as true cinnamon. It contains only trace, negligible amounts of coumarin, making it the safer option for a daily health routine. Because of its vital, protective role for one of your most important organs, but keeping in mind the strict requirement of choosing the correct type of cinnamon, we give this benefit an 8.5 out of 10. Protecting your liver is a long-term investment in your longevity. But the next item on our list addresses a daily roller coaster that might be destroying your energy right now, leaving you exhausted and craving sugar every single afternoon. And if you are currently taking prescription medication, what we are about to discuss is absolutely critical for your safety. Number 2 on our countdown, the stabilization of your daily blood sugar levels. If you frequently find yourself hitting a wall of exhaustion every afternoon, or suddenly craving sweet foods just to keep your eyes open, you are likely experiencing the silent, daily roller coaster of blood sugar spikes and crashes. As we age, our cells naturally become less responsive to insulin. You will not feel this shift happening overnight, but it is often the hidden root cause behind that heavy brain fog and unpredictable energy that drains you throughout the day. Many people try to fix this afternoon slump by drinking another cup of coffee or grabbing a quick snack. But that only restarts the vicious cycle of spiking and crashing. This is where our morning infusion steps in to offer genuine biological support. Ceylon cinnamon has been widely studied for its moderate to strong ability to support natural insulin sensitivity. Meanwhile, the active compounds in cloves may help regulate how efficiently your body processes glucose from your meals. When you combine them in warm water, they work together to support a calmer, more stable metabolic environment. Within a few weeks of consistent use, some people may notice that their afternoon energy remains much more steady, and those desperate, out-of-nowhere sugar cravings start to gently fade away. But here is what most people don't realize, and this is a critical medical warning. Because this natural combination can be effective at supporting lower blood sugar, combining it with prescription diabetes medication can actually become dangerous. If you are already taking medication to manage your blood sugar, adding this daily drink could potentially push your levels too low, leading to dizziness, cold sweats, and severe weakness. Talk to your doctor before adding this to your routine if you are on any blood sugar-altering medications. Do not ever stop or adjust your prescribed medication on your own. Because of its profound impact on your daily, sustained energy, but keeping in mind the strict requirement for medical safety, we give this benefit a 9.5 out of 10. Having steady energy is life-changing. But all of the 6 benefits we have covered so far are actually just treating the branches of the tree. The next item on our list, the number one reason this exact combination has been revered for thousands of years, targets the deepest, hidden root cause of nearly every single ache, pain, and exhausting symptom in an aging body. And the next one is where the results may become much harder to ignore. Number 1 on our list, and the ultimate reason this combination has been revered as medicine for thousands of years, the regulation of silent chronic inflammation. If you take one single piece of information away from this entire video, let it be this. All of the other benefits we just discussed, your digestion, your skin, your liver, your blood sugar, are essentially the branches of the tree. Chronic inflammation is the root. We are not talking about the acute inflammation you get when you sprain your ankle or cut your finger. That type of inflammation is a healthy, temporary immune response that heals you. We are talking about chronic, low-grade, invisible inflammation. Itself with a sudden fever or a visible bruise. It just sits there, smoldering deep inside your tissues and cells for months or even years, slowly breaking everything down. It is the hidden mechanism driving that stubborn joint pain that never fully goes away. It is the reason behind the heavy, unexplainable fatigue that even a full night's sleep cannot seem to fix. It is why your body might simply feel much older and stiffer than it actually should. As we cross into our 60s, our body's natural ability to manually turn off these inflammatory pathways begins to significantly weaken. This is exactly where our morning infusion does its most vital work. Cloves are recognized in nutritional research as one of the most potent natural spices for targeting inflammatory pathways, primarily due to their exceptionally high concentration of eugenol and other bioactive compounds. Cinnamon works brilliantly in tandem, targeting some of the exact same inflammatory pathways, but from a completely different biological angle. When you combine them, you are not just adding 1 plus 1. You are delivering a synergistic, multi-directional wave of support that may help your body quietly dial down that internal fire. By addressing this deepest root cause, some people begin to notice profound, systemic shifts over time. Rigid, painful stiffness when you first step out of bed in the morning may begin to soften. Your overall mobility may improve, and your body may start to feel lighter and more resilient to daily physical stress. But to achieve this specific, deep-level structural support, the exact protocol is crucial. Here is the highly accessible, inexpensive daily routine. Take 2 to 3 whole cloves and exactly half a teaspoon of true Ceylon cinnamon. Place them in a glass of warm water, comfortably warm, not boiling, as boiling water can destroy the delicate, active plant compounds. Leave it covered on your nightstand to steep overnight. In the morning, strain the liquid and drink it on an empty stomach, at least 20 minutes before you eat your breakfast. If you forget to soak them overnight, gently crush the cloves with the back of a spoon and let the mixture steep for 15 to 20 minutes. It is slightly less potent, but vastly better than skipping it. The taste is earthy and naturally warming, and the entire drink costs just pennies a day. However, there is a strict rule here. You must not add sugar, honey, or artificial sweeteners to this drink. Adding sugar actively triggers the exact cellular inflammation you are trying to calm down. Furthermore, remember that more is absolutely not better. A maximum of 1 glass a day. If you feel any mild stomach irritation, simply reduce the number of cloves to 1, or drink it every other day. Always listen to your body's signals. Because it targets the deepest, most destructive, and hidden force in an aging body and provides the foundation for real, lasting mobility, this combination earns a perfect 10 out of 10. But having the right recipe is only half the battle. If you ignore what we are about to discuss next, no amount of spiced water will help you. There are specific daily mistakes and critical medical warnings that can completely block these benefits or even put your health at risk. But having the perfect recipe is only half the equation. If you ignore these next warnings, no amount of spiced water will help you, and you could actually end up doing more harm than good. First, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make: timing. Many people drink this infusion right after a heavy, greasy dinner, hoping it will magically erase their bloating and settle their stomach. But when your stomach is already full of food, the active plant compounds cannot properly coat and interact with your digestive lining. To get the actual biological benefits, it must be consumed on an empty stomach, ideally first thing in the morning before breakfast. Second, do not fall into the trap of thinking more is better. Because this drink is completely natural, people often assume they can drink 3 or 4 glasses a day to speed up their results or quickly heal their joints. Do not do this. The eugenol in cloves is incredibly potent. Overusing it can actively irritate your stomach lining, cause severe nausea, and stress your system. Stick to a maximum of 1 single glass a day. Third, you must be extremely careful regarding your specific medical profile. If you are currently taking prescription medications, especially blood thinners or diabetes medications, you need to pause. Cloves can naturally affect blood clotting, and cinnamon, as we discussed, can influence your blood sugar levels. Combining this daily drink with your prescriptions without professional guidance can lead to dangerous drops in your blood sugar or unexpected complications. You must talk to your doctor before adding this to your routine. Never, under any circumstances, stop or adjust your prescribed medication on your own just because you are trying a natural alternative. Finally, we need to address a critical safety rule. This daily habit is meant to be a supportive tool for chronic, low-grade, aging-related issues. It is absolutely not an emergency treatment. If you have chest pain, sudden weakness, trouble breathing, blood in your stool or urine, sudden vision loss, severe abdominal pain, confusion, or severe swelling, do not try to fix it with food or supplements. Seek medical help immediately. When used correctly and safely, this combination can be a powerful daily ally for an aging body. But to actually see those benefits, you need to know how to properly implement it into your life without giving up after just a few days. Here is exactly how to build this into a realistic routine. Now that you understand the powerful mechanisms at play and the critical warnings to keep yourself safe, how do you actually build this into a realistic routine? You cannot do this for 3 days and expect permanent results. The silent inflammation and oxidative stress in your body took decades to accumulate. They are not going to disappear over a weekend. This is a daily habit. To truly support your aging body, you need a consistent implementation plan. Here is exactly how to do it. Your primary goal should be the standard morning infusion. Take 2 to 3 whole cloves and exactly half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. Steep them in warm water overnight or for 15 to 20 minutes in the morning. Strain it and drink it on an empty stomach, at least 20 minutes before your first meal. Do not add sugar or sweeteners. This sets the baseline for your digestive and anti-inflammatory support for the rest of the day. If you find that drinking this every single day is slightly too stimulating for your stomach, that is perfectly fine. You do not need to push through discomfort. Instead, use the rotation method. Drink the clove and cinnamon infusion 3 to 4 times per week. On the off days, you can rotate in a simple glass of warm water with a slice of fresh ginger, which provides a different, gentler type of digestive support. Pick one approach that feels right for your body and stay consistent. As you start this routine, here is a realistic, conservative timeline of what you might expect. Within 24 to 48 hours. Some people may notice small comfort changes, specifically a reduction in that heavy, bloated feeling after their morning or afternoon meals. Within 3 days. You may begin noticing patterns in your digestion, sleep, or afternoon energy stability. Within 1 week. Routine consistency becomes easier to evaluate. Your body will start adapting to this new influx of antioxidants. Within 2 weeks, you may notice whether this habit is actively helping with subjective issues like morning stiffness or lingering brain fog. Within 30 days, review your symptom journal and discuss meaningful changes with your doctor if needed. But remember, none of this matters if it conflicts with your current medical care. If you take medication or have a medical condition, talk to your doctor before making changes to your daily regimen. Spices are powerful, and they demand respect. So, where do you go from here? If you are tired of waking up stiff, exhausted, and feeling older than your actual age, it is time to shift how you view your body.